Come follow the brick wall. It's your girl Eva K, and I'm ready to eat. Hey, who ready to eat with me? Who ready to come bread with me? Let's break bread. Come break bread with me. Let's break bread. We about to eat this food and get fed. Come break bread with me. Let's break bread. Now bow your head, hey, cause we gotta say the grace, cause we about to eat. We about to eat. I can't wait to eat. Let's eat, big girls. Are you ready to eat? Come eat with me and let's talk. I want to get all in your business. What you gotta say? What you gotta say? I'm ready to laugh and I'm ready to play. Come on and break bread with your girl Eva K. Let's break bread.
Okay. And everybody see us now. Perfect.
Hey y'all.
We're gonna talk a little loud on this, maybe loud enough that y'all can hear. But after we finish eating, I'll move over there closer. But this is an honor. I have finally made it to the Hood Oprah show.
Break bread with E, honey.
But I'm gonna let her introduce herself. I'm doing her interview today. She got about what? We probably gonna go 30, 45 minutes, somewhere around 60 maybe.
Yeah.
We'll try to keep it to 60 minutes. That's what I can promise you guys.
For the live, we'll do 60 minutes, and I'll cut it off on mine at about 23, just because it won't let me upload it to YouTube if it's too long.
Okay.
And we can always do a part 1 and part 2. So this is Constance. I'm Eva.
Yo.
And we have a lot to talk about today, y'all. Like, for real, a lot to talk about. If y'all have any questions on the live, just let us know, and I'll try my best to read it. This food today was sponsored by Kiwi, Color Me Habits. Sponsored the food. My husband DJ cooked it all for us. We have whiting fish, collard greens, wild rice, and a salad, and some Hawaiian rolls. So let me say my grace. Now we thank you for our food, Father God, we thank you. Father God, we thank you. Amen. Okay. Now let me take a bite. Okay, so Miss Constance.
What's up?
You out here making a ruckus, baby. So your live, people know you, but on my channel, I want people to get to know all of you.
All right. Cool.
So tell us something about yourself.
Well, my name is Constance E. I am born and raised from Knoxville, Tennessee. I grew up on East Knoxville area. I started out in Green Hills, then we moved to Burlington, and then eventually my father got hired on with Oak Ridge, and we moved to the Hosting Hills area. I graduated from Gibbs High School. That's okay. I'm cool with that because I was a Hosting Hurricane. I was a very green school, so that's all good. But I always stay connected with my friends and childhood friends that went to AE, Fulton, Carter, West, South Door. Yeah, we was all united back in those days. It's not like what it is today. And so, after I finished high school, I went straight to college. I first attended my first year at Vanderbilt University. I then transferred to Austin Peay State University because I had ensued the option of joining the military. I finished my sophomore year of my college career, and then I was shipped out to Afghanistan and to the military and to my to my AITs and other trainings and other those necessities. And I did that for about 15 years, and I got out in 2015. And so then from there I came home. I worked a variety of odd jobs. I did a lot of different jobs. I've contracted, I've done some tech work, all types of different things. But at the same time, I was watching a lot of things happen in my community, and I started seeing, like you heard me mention, evolving from what I knew it was to where it was going. Like many of us, I have family, and so I was starting to realize, that if we don't start making some serious changes to how we are living right now, the community behind us and the youth behind us even then are going to be destroyed. And so I felt like we have to start making action and making changes. And so I founded 2 nonprofits. I founded Sleeves for Needs, which is a 501c3 social service organization. And then I founded a 501c4 Black Coffee Justice, which is just that. It's an injustice organization. We fight injustice in our justice organization. And then from there, I've been advocating for multiple changes on multiple platforms. I advocate for change on our local platform. I advocate for change on our state platform. And I advocate for change on our federal platform. Because the reality is that at the end of the day, the black struggle is really still due and tied to the fact that we are treated like 3rd and 4th class citizens in this country that our ancestors built. And as well as the fact that we have not been properly reparated for that kind of compensation of free labor. In addition to that, we have a lot of factors of systematic oppression, racism that is designed to criminalize us in multiple spaces of ourselves, and poverty is the number one driver behind our suffrage and really our lacking, as well as mindset and, even the cultural existence of understanding that we have allowed ourselves to exist in, and even been manipulated by the media, government, even our own kind, our own people have sold us out and did us wrong in so many different ways. This cycle of our destruction is real. And I feel in turmoil and much duty to honor our ancestors who have done this for these very reasons. These people gave their lives. We have a duty to do the right thing and carry the torch forward, because people literally died just for us to be able to do this right now.
Right.
People need to understand this concept. This is not a game anymore. We must start doing the right thing, period, or we will perish, because the design of the system is to destroy us. I don't mean to get on my soapbox, but
No, it is what it is.
It's really serious, and so that is what I am here for. I've learned that someone must rise up as our voice of our people. I'm not the only one. Like I said, shout out to Tamika Mallory. She's paying attention out here. Shout out to David Hayes, Amelia Parker, Brittany Bonner, a whole lot of people. Shout out to Deidre Harper with AJ Intent. Shout out to Tanika Harper with Shore Rock Foundation. Shout out to Angela Davis with the Knoxville Soul and the Black No Chaser. Shout out to a whole lot of people. Shout out to multiple spaces. Shout out to my boy Denzel Grant. It's a lot of work going on out here, and it's going to take a whole village to make this happen. And it's just that we need to continue to build intricate parts and pieces so that we can have the necessary overhaul for what we're really seeking, which is beyond equality. We are looking for liberation. And I want my people to start to understand that. Equality is cool. But we don't even want equality. We want liberation. And that is a freedom of scope of existence way beyond what we understand. We see white privilege, but liberation is white privilege. We can have that access and that capability, do what we want to do, and not worry about being criminalized or charged with actions, and be able to stand outside at our gas stations and our neighborhoods and not be shot down or gunned down the streets because of pettiness and hatred and envy. It's just the reality of what we have to understand about ourselves. And so, like I said, there are many fights occurring at all times, and I just find myself dipping down in a little bit of all of it.
So, do you think we are ready for change? Like the change that you want to see when you look at your community? Do you feel like the community is ready for that change?
I don't even think that my community understands we don't have a choice, because gentrification is real. And the reality is that is exactly what we're facing right now. So either A, we're going to make the necessary changes so we can fight for our community, fight for our properties, fight for our schools, fight for our children, fight for our houses, fight for our businesses, fight for our everything that we have here. Or that's okay, keep up what you're doing. The white man gonna buy up all the land anyways, and he gonna shove you right out. So that's the truth. We are fighting gentrification. We really don't have a choice but to unite. Plus, our children are dying at a rapid rate in the streets. Again, this is also due to a lot of factors, but we have work on the inside just like we do have work on the outside. And so the reality is that on the inside, we have not been doing our work either. We have not. We have to do our part as well. And so to me, that's the critical piece. Unification is step number one. Step number two is group economics. Step number three is evolving our workforce development and business entrepreneurship, black banking. Step number four is having political representation so that we continue to pour into our areas of our growth and development of our business community so we can have the economical support that we need necessary, like grants, project opportunities, contracting, etc. Step number five is that we start to teach our children these trades and stop making them be slaves by taking on a 9-to-5 job when they can be the owner and they hire the 9-to-5 for workers. It's multiple steps that's in place, but we have to start with step one, which is unification. And I want black people to understand something about my unification policy, because I get this a lot of flack, from fellow outsiders of our community. The key element is that the black nation has never united. We always worried about what everybody else got going on and what about them and this, that, and the third. But the reality is that unification of black nation is a must because we have to separate. Accept that. Separation is not a bad thing. I think I should want people to understand that. Separate is not a bad thing. It's a necessity because we have to grow, we have to heal, we have to do some work on ourselves. And we can't work on ourselves on the inside. We let everybody on the outside in. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And why do they want to hold on to us? Because we are black economic dollars. You know how many children that black people have sent to school? We have sent hella people's other children to school. But have we sent of our own? And the reality is that we're lacking in that space. You see what I'm saying? They want us divided. They want us to be conquered. They don't want us to liberate our continent, Africa. See, if you want to really, really get down to what this is about Africa. And let me explain to all my silly people in the land that are melanated that yell out, well, we're not from Africa. Okay, let me explain something. So once upon a time, before slavery, because that's maybe where you're limited to that to understand this, there was this thing known as dynasties in the African continent, which is truly called Kemet. Africa is the European colonizer's name given to our motherland, aka Kemet. That's actually who we are. Fact check me. I want y'all to Google everything I said. So, Kemet was ruled by our kingships and our queenships. Where do you think the irises and the Horuses and those type of stories come from? They come from us. And so when we ruled the land, we were everywhere. We traded from America, what they call America today. I don't know what it's called back then, but whatever it's called back then, we was in America. We was in South Asia. We was in the Caribbean. We were everywhere. When we ruled this globe, the world was at peace. The world didn't become chaotic until a colonizer invasion. And this is when the world got crazy, because these white men had never seen a land that was so rich in the wealth of its existence. Where does diamonds come from? Where does gold come from? Where does ruby and jade come from? Where does any precious metal or any type of monetary value of gold or et cetera that you name comes from? And it comes from Africa. So the war is over Africa. I tell people, think about something. Before COVID-19 broke out, there was China trying to move in to South Africa, and there was great resistance to that. And then the next thing you know, after the great resistance, we have COVID-19. These things are not coincidental. They are designed by agenda. And people need to understand and unshackle their mind and not be so limited. Isn't it driving me crazy?
No, we okay.
And so you are from Africa. We have to go home and claim our continent. Africa is the only continent that is rooted to the globe. Did you know that? All the rest of the continents float, but Africa is rooted to the earth, literally, real talk. And so that all has a sign of meaning, doesn't it? Don't you understand that? Like, it does mean something deeper than that. And so to me, the answer is not possible until the black nation unifies. And I think that that's when we'll start to see true progression. And unification starts on micro scale, which is your community.
I went to Ghana, West Africa in 2011.
Right.
And it was almost more Asians there than it was Africans. But the Asians, they were building these big buildings, like it was more modern than what was already there. So I think we're ready. I just think we need more leaders.
Yeah.
Like, you were the first leader, well, not the first leader, but one of the ones that got my attention. And because I already vote, you know, I already do this, my civic duty that I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
But we don't have many leaders that's making you think.
Right.
Or that's giving you something tangible. Okay, like, this is what we can do. These are the steps. Everybody, I feel like, is just talking at us and not trying to teach us. Or we get judged because we don't know what's going on. But it's like, okay, who's telling us, you know? So I appreciate you for that. And I appreciate you for not being scared and walking in your life. You know what I'm saying? Being truthful with us and letting us know what's going on. My shirt, I don't know if y'all can see this, but it says July 4th didn't set me free. Juneteenth is my Independence Day.
Yeah,
so one of the main reasons why I came over here to talk to Ms. Constance is about the Juneteenth celebration or march that we're going to have on June 19th. And then Friday, this coming Friday, and the involvement that our community could get in, you know, donating waters or just coming out to the march. So can you tell us about Juneteenth? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I did not learn about Juneteenth until probably about 3-4 years ago. Never knew nothing about it. And I went to UTC, that's where I graduated from, and I went to Austin East, but we never learned about Juneteenth.
Well, first off, y'all, this food is fire.
Thank you, babe. My husband DJ made it for.
Make sure we announce that food service again one more time, because that food is fire. So, no, I understand what you're talking about. I'm the same boat. Like, you're right. K through 12, they didn't really teach us our history at all. So I agree with you. I was really fortunate that when I got back from the military, I transferred all my credits to UTK. And I met a professor by the name of Dr. Jalata, who is from Africa. And he's actually wrote several books about the disenfranchisement of Africa under the colonial power. And my minor is in Africana studies. And so he used to charge the black students so much. He'd be like, you all are the few that's making it to the classrooms. And many of us won't walk through these doors. He's like, however, the education doesn't just stop here. You have a duty to go back and teach others what you know. You know, as a kid, I was like, that's impossible. Nobody's listening. You know what I'm saying? Like, these rock kids don't hear no knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And he used to get on me all the time. He'd be like, no. He's like, you have the greatest duty. He's like, because you know. He's like, so you must teach so we can do better. And then, you know, he started giving me books about heroes and stuff like that. Like, you know, Jeremiah Hamilton was, do you know who Jeremiah Hamilton is? So Jeremiah Hamilton is like one of the founders of what we call today's New York Wall Street. Him and, what's his name? Cornelius Vanderbilt. You know Vanderbilt though, right?
I know Vanderbilt.
See what I'm saying? Like, look at that. Y'all know about Vanderbilt, but not about his arch rival, which is Jeremiah Hamilton, a black man from Jamaica. Fact check it. And so, or he might be from Jamaica or Haiti, one of the two. But he came in during the Great Depression, the first Great Depression, the real one, the 1920s, yeah. And he bought up all of the Wall Street properties. Like, him and Cornelius was competing for the Wall Street properties, buying it up left and right. And he was a shrewd businessman too. Like, he didn't play that. Like, you know, white men get disrespected him. He was known for knocking you out. He didn't play that. You know what I'm saying? And Cornelius Vanderbilt loved and hated him because they competed for so much of that property and really built, like I said, today's modern day Wall Street, that, you know, he felt like he wouldn't have became the great, you know, investor and economist that he was had it not been for him. And so, you know, he was like one of my first heroes he introduced me to. And then, you know, another rule about Dr. Chulada, he didn't give education. He would give me books, and then I had to read the book, and then I could come back and have a discussion with him about the book. And so, you know, I feel like maybe for a year he did that for me, and then eventually one day I just started doing it on my own. I don't even know when it happened. I just feel like one day I was at the library and I was looking straight for African American literature or African books or whatever, and I was just starting to pull them off the shelf. And then I read, and I come like, yo, have you ever heard of the Miseducation of the Negro? He's like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, we talking about this book. Like, what does it mean? What's the dynamics and concepts? Or, you know, the ties that bind, you know, another book. He'd be like, yeah, you know, that's one. I always tell people, for my people that's watching, that's been asking about a book to start with to learn Black history, it is James Baldwin, I Am Not Your Negro.
I love that.
Start with that book. I think that's an excellent book into, like, walking to the door of what this is. For my people that don't like to read, that's okay, I got you. Watch a video. Start with Hidden Colors, number 1, okay? Series 1. Don't jump in 4 or 5 because you're going to be lost. And you're like, you won't do it. But you start at step 1, you'll be well educated. 1 through 5, you can start there. Or even better, my other favorite challenge for people is, I challenge everybody be on their phone. Half of you are watching it, or over half of you are watching it right now on your phone.
Right. I
I challenge you, ride that thing after this or before, even right now during. I challenge you every day to check a Black history fact. African, American, Asian, European, you know, in the Caribbean, whatever. We were everywhere. We are such amazing beings. And here's how I can prove to y'all that we're everywhere. Every time they dig, what do they find?
African bones.
They find us every time. Statues, structures, whatever. Everywhere they dig, they find us. So you're right, we were here. But again, the agenda was to depress and oppress us. They had us in slavery everywhere. The slave Atlantic trade was not just America, it was everywhere. And other countries were revolting. That's how we have Haiti and Jamaica and some of these other foreign islands like the Virginia, the Virgin Islands, etc. They wasn't going. Unfortunately, here, they put a cycle on us. Boy, Jim Crow and Willie Lynch was something else for the Black mind. We were not ready, and they broke us here. And now that they have broken us, they have been demolishing us ever since. They did projects on us. The Syphilis Project. Really look that up. They went into poor rural farmer areas, Black ones, and told them that they were giving them free Medicare and gave them people syphilis. That's why I don't trust no COVID-19. Hell no. They've been experimenting on us. That's the uprising going on in Africa too. They want to try to experiment the vaccine of COVID over in Africa. They're like, no, you're not. No, you're not. Get up out of here with that. That's what I'm telling y'all. Like, this is real. It's a real agenda designed for our destruction. Welfare. You know, as a Black woman, you can't get welfare unless the Black man doesn't live in your home. Design. Black men, do you know why they purposely start trying to track your career back from middle school until you get to 18 grown for your job? Prison cycle. Wake up. Y'all gotta wake up. This is deeper than rap right now. And these little petty crumbs and these girls, all that little goofy stuff y'all fighting over is worthless. My boy Flo is dead. And this guy that did it took all the clout, or wanted the clout, and now it's time for him to come out and shine and get his round of a sound. He's hiding. And that to me is cowardice. The gangster stuff is standing up here marching through the street, yelling in these officers' face, Black Lives Matter, been prepared to take tear gas, pepper pellets, rubber bullets, and whatever. And if you haven't seen the pictures of what rubber bullets do, go check it out. It might be worse than the gun, actually. It really might be, because it breaks the skin, but not so bad that it don't go through your head. I think that's worse, actually. That's what I'm telling y'all. Y'all not gangster out here. Y'all playing. Playing for a car to get your own streets taken and killed, letting the police come in, criminalize and overtake us, then letting the white men come in and take all the property and rob it from us. They talk about looting. That's looting. Come in the community, snatch up all our property, take all our businesses, push us out, gentrify, raise property value up so high that we could never come back anyways, and that is that. Y'all better wake up. There's always been an agenda to get rid of the black people. They brought us here to work, and when we said we didn't want to work no more, the agenda was get rid of them ever since then.
Yeah. That's true.
We must do better, black people across this country, because what we're dealing with in Knoxville is in every hood across America. Every hood has a liquor and a gun store in it. Every hood that's where the population of black is has police officers all over that motherfucker. Everywhere in America, it's the same damn cycle. Knoxville, we are 11% of this county and 42% poor here. We are all broke. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing?
That's what I be trying to tell people. You got all this money. If you in the streets and you got money, you need to be investing it. Stop worrying about this material stuff. It can't go with you when you die anyways. And y'all have all this money. You can take $10,000, buy you a plot of land and start building houses on it. We can take our community back. Mm-hmm. But we have to work together.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? When we got our stimulus checks, the first thing I see people want to do on Facebook is go on Amazon and buy up shit.
And you don't have nowhere to go.
For what? We don't know. We need to be holding on to this money or trying to buy up land because we don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of months.
Oh, somebody's getting evicted now. They're evicting people. Fact.
I mean, KUB.
Right, cutting lights off.
KUB is coming for people next.
Mm-hmm.
People thought it was okay, yeah, I'm going to be able to pay it, I'm going to be able to catch up. You can't catch up to no $1,500 light bill.
3 months behind. Impossible.
That's crazy.
And they let you do it. It's a trap.
It is a trap. They gave us that stimulus check. We're supposed to be quarantined, but yet they slowly opening up stores. They opened up the mall. They opened up the shoe store.
Because they need to buy shoes.
I mean, it's just we have to wake up. We have to think that it's bigger than this materialistic stuff. We have to put our money together. Mm-hmm. Like, we hustling, but we hustling backwards.
Way back. Some of y'all in your mama basement hustling.
Man, you still living at home with your mama. Your mama can't even pay her bills, but you got 30 bands on you.
And a charger with rims and all the jewelry around your neck.
Y'all making all this money for the police to take it. Y'all helping them with their pension.
It ain't even legal, right?
I just don't understand it. What you think about snitching? Let's get on snitching.
Well, real quick. Hold on.
Hey, caller.
I don't know that person. All right. Well, real quick, I want to take the time out about some of the things you talk about. See, that's the amazing work of your organization. That's why Sleeps and Needs and Black Coffee matter. I want to take the time to shout out Women LLC. Women LLC is doing an amazing thing right now. They are actually 6 women. I don't want to name them all off, but I might forget somebody. Let me see. It is Tanika and Deidre Harper, Daisha Lundy, Angela Dennis, Kelly Jolly, and Kanika White. That's what it is. They are doing a crazy thing right now where they are doing what just that is, By the Block. They have organized a By the Block group, organization. It's just an LLC, it's a business. And what they are doing is doing just that. They're asking for the community to donate $5 a month so they can raise the capital necessary so they can start buying these properties in our community and buying the block and allowing to have, I think their goal is to create community trust fund lands in that concept so the community owns the property and then we all make decisions on how we want to develop our community without somebody coming in and telling us what to do because we lack capital and investment. Right. So, Women LLC, shout them out. Definitely support. And then snitching is dead. Period.
Right. Hold on, before we go on to snitching, because now you got me on the Women LLC. It's crazy to me that most things that are being done right now are being led by women.
Or is it good?
Women of color. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've done several things in the community where, I ask the community, can you donate so I can do X, Y, and Z? And it's always the women that step up. It's like the women are out hustling the man, but the women are also more giving. We need help from our men too. Our men cannot stay silent. You have to be fighting this fight with us. Women LLC has 6 strong, beautiful women. Queens that's trying to make a difference. We need our males to help back us. Let's show them that the women and the men in our community can come together. We can work together. We can love each other and do more than just create babies. We got to quit making statistics and make real things happen in our community. That's all I got to say about that, because I just, the men are the one that's flashing out the money.
Right.
But y'all not helping nobody.
And the women trying to make the moves.
And the women are trying to make the moves. The women out here is out hustling the men from, even if it's just them making pudding. You hear me? The women out here in Knoxville is getting to it. And we need our men. So I challenge every man. Help us. Stand with us in this fight. Anyway, you said snitching is dead. Look. Because I get in on a subject and can't get off of it.
No, I'm glad you had your soapbox. We need to do that. Uplift our women. And like you said, men, you need to get behind the program. Let's go.
Yes.
So, yeah. Snitching is dead. Snitching is dead because it is the most toxic, curse-giving thing ever in the black community. It is, to me, the #1 culprit and killer and murderer of our people in our streets. It is. The snitching is what kills us. It ain't as much as the killer as much as it is the snitch. I mean, the no snitching. Because the reality is that the no snitching has allowed the killers to kill and then hide amongst us, and y'all be knowing exactly who be doing this stuff. And that's just crazy to me. And then y'all be hugging on people's families and friends and be all in their face, posting up Facebook posts and shouting them out every day. And, boy, I ain't never seen so much fake energy in my life since my boy died. Boy, that really came forth. Like, boy, it's some fake going on out here. You know,
I still can't believe it.
I can't either. It's super fake. Y'all can swear y'all love Flo, but won't nobody say what happened to Flo. Shame on you all. And I know my boy, I'm gonna tell Flo, look, I'm putting some karma on all of y'all. Flo, humped them to death, every last one of them. All of them every night. I mean, every night be they boogeyman. I'm for real, Flo. Come get them. You know what I'm saying? For real.
This is crazy.
Because to me, people have failed to understand even the historical reference of no snitching. So where did no snitching come from? There is a history to this. It's crazy. It is. It's a history.
And I'm ready to hear it.
So no snitching is another slave mentality. Boy, we are slave mentality to death out here. Slave mentality. Why did we have a no snitching in slave time? Because who was our #1 killer then? It wasn't us. See, we were unified back then. The no snitching clause was under a code of unity, actually. Because when the slave master came looking for Harriet Tubman, it had to be no snitching. Because she's gone. So they can't be talking about where she at and what she doing. And you're not about to tell the white man who's raped your children and your wife in front of you where she done ran off to. So we had a no snitching clause to protect ourselves. That evolved once we had the crack and cocaine and the alcohol and the drugs and the whole depressive slice and the systematic placed on us. They threw the drugs out there and the money and the guns out there, and they said let them kill themselves. And then no snitching got switched up to something different. But the crazy part, even with the gangs, you're not practicing right. See, the history of gangs was to protect the community because police brutality always existed. Right. So let me really run y'all back to where the snitching came from. See, that's the first step, the slave. Then, when the federal government thinks they own some smart shit, they decide, well, we'll make the slave catchers into police officers, which is U.S. Marshal was the first form of actually, I think, police force introduced. Don't hold me to that, I could be wrong. But I know somewhere around there, the police marshal started evolving because they needed jurisdiction to go catch slaves in other cities and the counties because of the north. That's right, I think I'm pretty accurate. But, they gave them that. That's where the legalization of the slave catcher came in. And then the police practices were to start using their position to terrorize and criminalize because that's what it was about. They was catching slaves. No one cared. Hang them from a tree. Shoot them. Go look at some of those old pictures. Crazy part is the lady who was the first woman to integrate segregation schools, like going to a black girl to a white school, she's like 68 years old. This just happened.
Ruby Bridges.
This just happened. Yes, Ruby Bridges. This just happened, y'all. So this is recent behavior and character. So when the gangs were developed, that was the way to stop the police brutality. Because we had to do what? We had to make them stop. Before the gangs, guess who was the first true gang? And even then, y'all got away from the practice of the cheaters. The Black Panthers. Huey P. Newton was the one that said, put the guns up. Let's go. We protect our own communities. They created 68 social service programs just for the black community. They were so good at the federal government kept 18 of them, which all y'all use every single day called WIC. That's where WIC came from. The Black Panthers, they designed that program. So you see what I'm saying? They've been trying to criminalize us forever because every time we try to take care of ourselves, they try to find a way to destroy us. Black Wall Street. We didn't only just have Tuscaloosa on Wall Streets. There were several Black Wall Streets. They bombed them all, okay? They bombed them all. So, I mean, I'm just being real with y'all. Like, you really have to know thyself. That's a critical factor for us. So let's get to the healing side of us now. With no snitching, we have allowed that to evolve through so many cycles because we were using it to protect ourselves, and then somewhere it started being, even it got criminalized in its process of what we were using it for, and it led to where we're starting to let people kill us now, even our own. And so it has to stop. And so no snitching is dead because the valueship of the unification for the Black people is gone. It lost its value. So once it trades over and start being a double cross to us, we can't keep it no more. We got to let it go. We have to find another method. That's okay. We'll figure it out. But we have to find another way to keep code of protection amongst ourselves with our words and our comments. And as far as I'm concerned, if you are killing us, you're no better than the white man killing me. You're no better than the police killing me. You're no better than the white lady called Karen and Ken that be calling on me. You're no better than them people. You are exactly the same. Go join the Nazis and the KKK because that's where you belong, because that's the agenda that they're on. Kill you, kill us for whatever gain of their self. And that's exactly what you're doing when you do that. No snitching is dead. How many people does it take? Does it take to be your mama, your brother, your aunt, your friend, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your nephew, your niece, your grams, your granddad? What is it going to take for y'all to finally say we got to stop this? I'm ready now, and that's why I'm going as hard as I can, pedal to the metal, because I need to know the individuals that have been listed and named in multiple kind of accusations, not only just from me, but through all other people in the streets, is that they need to come forward and clear their name. If you didn't do it, then say so. It's simple as that. I think if somebody accused me of murder, I'll be definitely willing to talk because I want them to know up front, I ain't do that. And I ain't afraid to come and tell you. That's why I'm here to tell you. I didn't do it. Scratch me off your list. Y'all seen First 48. Sometimes they do get guys like that. They walk in and what they do, they come in straight in and tell them. I ain't have nothing to do with that. Yeah, we had a beef back in the day, but we squashed that. We've been good ever since. That's the real. Y'all swear y'all gangster. Y'all not gangster out here. It's so funny. Children, just children.
I keep getting people asking like, well, how can you, well, like, why are we still killing each other? And I'm trying to break it down to them. Sometimes people don't have a conscience. Like, we looking at it as, oh, a Black person killing a Black person, but our skin folk ain't your kin folk. So people are thinking, if I don't like this person, I want them gone. Like, I don't care what color they are. But to us, it's just like, oh, another Black man killed a Black man, so that's okay. But we riot when that happened too. We have done riots, we have done protests to stop the violence in our community. It's like it's falling on deaf ears. We either gonna come together or we're gonna perish. And I truly believe that.
No. We need to start telling who's doing it, plain and simple. That's the answer.
So what you think about policing? Do you think we should go back to policing our own neighborhoods?
Yes, immediately. I think that's one of the critical answers. Like I said, we need to police ourselves. We need to police ourselves, for real. We need to. We know each other. We have a better hold and grip on each other. We better know the kids from the day they start growing up to the day they become the monsters that we may or may not have created. So we have to police ourselves. We're the ones that know.
So why not just do better training, better police training?
You know, I guess my thing about the police is that its history is corrupted. And so for me, if we're going to do that, then it has to be redesigned from the scratch up. We can't maintain the old system. We have to fully redesign it. It means that automatically off the bat, 50% of this department is like diversified, whether it be Black, Hispanic, Latino, Arabic, etc. We must diversify the department. Zero tolerance and racism of any form, prejudice, discrimination, etc. Regular mental health checks, you know, period, like really, like on some quarterly basis, like every 2 months you get a mental health check, period. Make sure your head's straight. The next factor is you need at least 1.5 to 2 years of training before you come out and actually start engaging and having actual interactions on your own duty and your own cop card.
Okay.
The last part is no bloated budgeting. You don't need millions and millions of dollars. You need what is efficient for a job, period, because that's what it is. It is a job. It has a little bit of danger to it, but it is a job at the end of the day. We're not trying to make people extra wealthy here. We're not trying to make people extra poor. They need to be paid what is ever the base paid income for this area that allows them to have affordable home, you know, food on their tables, etc. I'm not telling them not to go out what they need, but you don't need millions of dollars either. and a bunch of bonuses getting signed off. Y'all don't need that. And then again, like I said, a strong law infrastructure over their oversight and their behaviors, their policies, their rules and regulations. It needs to be clearly understood that if you fire that weapon, you are under full investigation at that point, no matter what. You know, if it comes out, find out that you have involved yourself in murdering or killing someone on your line of duty, you can be charged effective immediately. You will go to the justice system at that point and stand charges for your crimes. No ifs, ands, or buts. In the military, that's how it is. In the military, there was rules of engagement. I was in a war zone where I had 3 codes of regulation. I had the rules of escalation of force. I had the escalation of force, the rules of engagement, and the Geneva Code on me. Like, when you bust, you better be sure that you're busting at an enemy, or you're going to be in a court-martial, and you're going to be making big rocks, little rocks for the rest of your life, literally. So if we have that kind of regulation, even then it was like a shot charge. Another thing, you don't need to be shooting at the kill shot every time you shoot. You need to have a de-escalation shot chart, literally, or escalation shot chart, which for us was hella warning shots before you could shoot a shot. Then it was like you had to shoot to disable me, like in the foot or the leg. Then if they still continue to shoot, then you can come up to the mid-range level, but even if you're still not shooting to kill, you're more still aiming for the arm or the shoulder. If they continue to shoot, then you can go for a kill shot. So I probably gave you about 7 or 8 free shots in me before I take a shot back.
I never knew all that.
Yeah, and they need the same thing. They do this for a living. And like I said, and at the end of the day, to me, the police are not needed because here's why. You'll have military force. The police really are not needed. We have military force. What happened in the areas where it got really riot crazy? Who they call in?
The military.
And the police was gone. See what I'm saying? We don't even need them because we have military. Trump spent $700 billion plus in military and funded education, all kinds of other programs, but he kept that military strong. So that's my point. We don't even need police. Plus, we have sheriffs and other things like that. Like, we have too many police forces. We don't need all these police, period.
So Eva T. Satterfield, I was reading one of her posts, and she was trying to advocate for like social services workers to go out for calls like domestic violence or other types of calls like that. Instead of sending in the police, you send in someone with the training to de-escalate the situation. Because sometimes if you see the police and you already in an argument, that's going to escalate it. Like, you're just going to go into a rage, and that's what's getting folks killed.
True.
Because we are automatically, well, not a lot of us, but some black people are automatically, we get nervous when we see the police. So that make us act weird or fidget, and that's what's getting you killed because you're nervous. You don't know what this police is coming to do, and you're getting all nervous and you tensing up, and it's making the police officer scared. So the first thing he's gonna do is put his hand on his gun. So now you questioning him, like, why you got your hand on your gun? They pull it, they shoot, you gone. And it's that one kill shot. They're not shooting in the leg, they shooting you straight in your head.
But why? That's my point. But why?
Yeah.
You shouldn't be. Even if you're scared for your life, shoot somebody in the foot is very painful. I promise you. That's the end of that. It's not going to be anything else. And they live and get to go to jail and all that good stuff. They have to stop going for kill shots, period. What was that last part you asked me? I'm sorry. I was smashing my...
I don't even remember.
What else? Oh, you said Ebony Satterfield's been pushing for the social services. I mean, that's the necessity, right? Like, we would prefer to have a medical emergency personnel respond to our call than we would a cop, correct? So why not just do that? And then if the cop is necessary, unless the call comes in that is shooting, okay, that's a police duty, send them. But if it comes in, there's a guy here acting really strange and I don't know what's wrong with him, that sounds like to me maybe medical personnel is better. Maybe one cop responds with the ambulance on arrival. Like, you don't get there before them, you have to wait till they show up and then you approach, or you arrive with them. But to me, that's not deemed a call for the police to pull up. That is a call for EMT kind of services. Maybe he's having a mental health crisis. Maybe he's needing some type of other type of assistance. He's hot, he's dehydrated, he might be heat hallucinating.
Maybe he has autism.
Right, maybe he has autism, right. Like, we have autoimmune issues and other illnesses. I'm just saying, it could be anything, but just say, because he said it was the weird description of a person outside, is not deemed to me to call the police on the scene and start having him basically escalate the situation, like you said, escalate. Like we saw for the young man in Atlanta. That was fully escalated. He was willing to even walk home. And I think one of the critical factors of that story is that, you know, the police version of what happened is that, so he was too drunk to walk, but he was sober enough to fight 2 men. That's what they want us to believe, basically. And so that's confusing altogether. It's like, well, then why didn't he get to be able to walk now? I think he even offered his girlfriend to come get him or something like that too, didn't he?
So, but a lot of people, I even seen black people, it's like, well, he pulled the cop's taser.
So, did you see the white man that pulled the cop's taser?
Yeah, and he got in the police cruiser and almost ran the cop over.
Yeah, exactly. A whole lot happened, and he's alive. So again, that's not going to justify for me.
Yeah.
It's a taser, not a just. You got a baton. How about you pull it out? How about you pull out your pepper spray and spray his eyeballs out? I don't know, but you don't have to use your gun. You still have too many choices beyond your gun.
Right. And I said when he was startled, like when the cop knocked on his window, his body automatically went into fight or flight.
Right.
I mean, your kids wake you up, you just like.
Right.
So imagine being woke up by a cop. Now you know you in Atlanta where all this rioting and stuff going on. You automatically think, okay, shit, is he gonna kill me? Mm-hmm. And we shouldn't have to think that. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna see what this person wrote a whole lot of shit. We need to stop calling in the gun zone and dismantle gangs and promote people like you guys instead of the ones holding us back. And think about the kids for a second. That comes from Corey Kennebrew.
Corey Kennebrew is a little bit crazy. Don't worry about him.
What's the richest? Okay, I'm just trying to read some of this, y'all, because we're not ignoring y'all, but we was just trying to eat. They said the modern day Malcolm X, protect her at all costs. Best thing smoking in Knoxville. We're going to have to protect Constance because the thing about Constance is she's not afraid to speak up, where a lot of us are scared to speak up. I'm not scared, but you know what I'm saying? A lot of us are scared to shake the table, and Constance is not. And she's speaking facts and she's speaking the truth. But y'all make sure y'all come out to this Juneteenth celebration.
So first Juneteenth is gonna be super duper dope. It's this Friday, ladies and gentlemen. This Friday, 6 to 9:30. It is going down. You don't want to miss it. My boy Oba is gonna bring the African drummers through and turn us up from the get-go. I have a young man that's 10 years old from Alcoa, Tennessee, that is speaking like us as we speak right here at this table. I got my boy Andre Johnson, who's bringing in some of the Black Lives Matter chapters from around the area into town for us. Black Coffee candidates, Black Coffee Justice endorses political candidates. We are going to promote the Black Agenda. These are candidates that are running for office that support dear Black people, something just for you. And so we're going to introduce that policy. Let me think, what else? We have a community member from the blind deaf community, an African American female that is deaf, and she's going to speak about her experiences of what Black Lives Matter when you're in accessibility, disability spaces. Even as Black people forget about them. We remember autism and others, but we forget about brothers and sisters that can't hear and see. And so it's going to be interesting to hear her vision and her perspective of what that life is like in her space. Wow. And then, Mr. Ruben Mitchell. He is a community activist himself. He does more work with our boys in like a boot camp style type of training. He does a couple other things, so it's going to be really dope to hear from him. Mrs. Niecy Smith, y'all know Mama Sky. She's going to do a poetic justice for us. Going to drop some poetry in our ears. And then we're looking for somebody to see our Black National Anthem. Now, Anthony Angel and Kim Warren are supposed to be stepping up, but then we got introduced to another young lady who I think might be our candidate because she can blow it down. She's young, too. That's kind of like the last piece of our segment, but we're good. We're locked in to go. DJ Chris Snell's going to spin us on our ones and twos. We're going to have food vendors. We're going to have several different nonprofits, Black and some of our allied partnerships with our Latinos and our white people as well. The event has had a response of roughly about we're getting a little closer to 5K now. So it's going to be an exciting event. Shout out to our Vice Mayor, Gwen McKenzie. Shout out to Tierra Brown for her amazing work. Shout out to Jen McMahon, Jen Jarnigan. That list is long. It's like 30 plus people that's on this committee that helped make this happen. And then, like I said, so many people have outpoured. Shout out to the community for those water donations. I think by just donation to the community, y'all might have donated at least 2 pallets towards the event, if not more. Y'all might have more than 2 pallets now. But it's going to be we're going to have as much fun. We're going to be safe. We're going to have a good time. All that good stuff that you expect to have at a Juneteenth event. You know what I'm saying?
Where for me? Did you say?
Caswell Park or Ashley Nicole Park is what they call it. Yeah, 6930. We're going to march the streets. We're going to take the streets in Magnolia. We're going to walk down our block, look at what they did as the $7 million Magnolia project. And then we're going to show how that project stops and the difference of what that looks like. Because you can't just drop $7 million. To me, that was waste. We could have done so much more with that $7 million than that, if that's what y'all going to give us. And so, again, you know, it's important that we continue to challenge our government to do the right thing too, because like I said, it's not all us. We are a part in it, and we have to do our part too. But the city definitely loves us being oppressed and compromised as we are, because they benefit from it in our economical development and financial capacities. And so the reality is that we have to stay on them too. Tonight's city council meeting at 6 p.m. You know, y'all are putting pressure on, because they pulled that agenda, from my understanding, of about the police funding from tonight's agenda. So we might even have to discuss that. But if we do, then it should be there. If not, then y'all did an amazing job of putting pressure to get rid of that from the get-go. We are not talking about giving the police any more funds. If anything, the only conversation we're talking about the police is reforming it and getting those mental health professionals, getting those officers properly trained, getting those body cams put on their chest, and getting our part review oversight empowered. You know what I'm saying? I like DIC Dings very much for that position. I like his mindset. He feels like he cannot be an effective leader in his role as park director without having investigators that can support his needs and his services for his community. You know, we are disappointed to hear that Indy Kincannon may be trying to not bring DIC on board because she thinks he is overqualified. I've never heard such a statement for a position that he's trying to take, so I don't believe that. I believe Indy Kincannon, once again, you are showing how you are not being honest with your public. You claim Black Lives Matter, yet every time you get the chance to show it, you sure don't know how to show it. You show how to not show it, you're right. So it's like, if that's a true statement that was said on record by you, I'm very disappointed to hear that, because that is unacceptable. So I'm hoping that Mr. DIC Dings does get that role, because we really need somebody from our community. See, the beauty of DIC is that he was a cop, and he's from the community. So he knows the both sides of the fence. So he knows what it's like to be a black man in America, and he knows like what it means to be a black cop in America at the same time. I really believe DIC is the best man for this job.
I'm going to end it on mine, but you want to stay live?
No, I think we're good. You got anything else for me?
No. You answered everything, and it was awesome. I'm glad that I got to come and chill with Miss Constance. We found out that we are distant family, too.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? Oh, there's a lot of comments on here.
Yeah, I couldn't go through all of them.
Modern day Malcolm X.
But, y'all, thank you for, if you're new to my channel, keep watching, subscribing, liking, and we will have more. We'll definitely go live at the march, the Black Lives Matter, you know, Juneteenth celebration. So,
Corey Kennedy kept it real. Yeah, I like what he said. Yeah, it just sometimes sounds crazy when it all comes out, but yeah.